I've been battling with my girlfriend lately. She likes watching reality TV. You know those shows where they like stick 10 whores in a house? Somebody tries to find a wife, you know, who has the immunity, right? All those Real Housewives with those shiny Botox faces, all yanked back like they had their heads up the side of a bullet train. Right? Why do people get facelifts? Huh? Can't you look at other facelifts and realize they haven't worked all the bugs out yet? Right? Is that what you want to look like? Like you lost a fight 3 days ago, you're just getting back on your feet? Makes no sense. I understand liposuction. They mess that up, you can put a shirt on. There's no shirt for your face. Dude, if you're thinking about getting a facelift, do yourself a favor. Just wait it out. Let them practice on other people's faces. When they work it out, then you go in. It's like hair plugs. Hair plugs don't look half bad now. Saw a guy in a commercial the other night. He's like, ah, God, I wish I did this 10 years ago. It's like, no, you don't. 10 years ago? When they were stapling ant legs to the top of people's heads? Everybody's eyes watering, trying not to look at your hairline? Dude, you gotta be happy with who you are, man. There's nothing wrong with being 45 and looking 45. Would you rather be 45 and look 45 or be 45 and look like a 28-year-old lizard? You know? That's basically your options.
So anyways, I'm a married man with a kid. Happily married man. Yes, I am. I love my wife to death. I love everything about being fucking married. But I'll tell you this right now. We do fight a lot. We do argue all the time. If I've learned anything in 5 years of being married is we're always working on me. You know? Evidently, my wife is this completed work under museum glass that is to be admired and studied. Like, how did she do that? And I'm like one of these guys, you know those buildings that just has scaffolding around it for like 6 straight years? So you're like, are they ever gonna finish that thing? Is that some sort of insurance shop? Jesus Christ, what a piece of shit. You should just tear it down and start over again. Yeah. I have a temper. So that's the thing. That's what kind of ruins things. Everything else I do is fine, but I have a fucking temper, and it just ruins shit. And then my wife always says the same thing. She's always just like, I just don't understand. Where did that come from? Where is that coming from? It's you just go from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds. It's like, first of all, I idle at 75 miles an hour. All right? So don't give me this 0 to 100. I walked into this restaurant at 75. I could hear that guy talking too loud on his cell phone from the fucking parking lot. Yeah, I fucking tried all of this shit, you know. Whenever she says that to me, though, I swear to God, I just don't understand where is this coming from? It actually hurts my feelings when she says that, you know? Because it makes me feel like she's not listening to me. It's like, honey, how many childhood stories do I have to tell you before you follow the breadcrumbs to the absolute lunatic that you married? Didn't you ever take a psychology class? I'm not that complex. Like, I'll tell you guys a quick childhood story. I'll tell you one of the funnier ones, right? One time, when I was like 6, my older brother was 8. We were in the back seat of my dad's car, and we were like laughing, and we were excited because it was around Christmas, right? And my dad just had this thing. He just didn't like joy, you know? So he's sitting there driving, he's going like, Jesus Christ, knock it off back there! Christ, you're giggling like a couple little schoolgirls! Christ, you don't straighten up, I'm gonna buy you a doll for Christmas! And then he did. I swear to God, he made us hold him up. My mother's taking pictures in front of the Christmas tree. I'm just standing there like, Afterwards, I ran upstairs to my top bunk. And my dad knew he fucked up, to his credit. He came up, he tried to smooth it over. He's like, all right, come on back down. It's over. Come on down, enjoy the holiday. And I'm like, no, I don't want to eat this. I fucking hate you. Right? He eventually coaxed me down, you know? He softened up a little bit. Look, you don't get your fucking ass back downstairs. No one else can open that gift. I'm moving out. I said moving out. I go back downstairs all shell-shocked. Here's another gift for you, Billy. I'm like, is this a fucking dollhouse? When does it end? Yeah, that was Christmas, and those were people that loved me. I just don't understand. Where is this coming from? I just don't understand. So, I gotta do it though. I gotta work on the temper. I'm gonna do it. You know, I got the kid now, and I don't want to pass it on to her. You know, I have like a demon in my family tree, like this fucking rage. It's just, you know, just keeps following us, and now I got it. I have it so bad, like literally my daughter, she's a little over 2 years old. She's yet to meet me yet. You know? Like the real me. She's seen glimpses of me. I come, hey, how are you? She's seen glimpses of the anger, but I'm able to smooth it over really quickly. Like, whoa, Daddy almost snapped his phone in half. But I see it in her face. I can see the way she looks at me. She's starting to put it together like, this dude's a little fucked up, man. This is a little fucked up. I cannot tell you how heartbreaking that is to see from a top. Angry kid just walking around fucking kicking toys, fucking bullshit, just being like a lunatic. I want to be like that priest in The Exorcist when the devil got in him and he just fucking leaps out the window and dies, you know? So I've been fucking trying everything, you know? I tried, you know, I don't know, I meditating, wearing sweaters. I did that for a while. Like if I dressed like a regular guy, I'd be one. I drew a smiley face on a Post-it and stuck it on my dashboard. Like that was gonna help with my road rage. You know, driving down the street like, you motherfucker! I guess I've done that too. Thank you, smiley face. I remember one night I actually considered taking a bath because I was gonna call my wife. I was on the road and I was like, I don't want to have a fight with her. I need to relax. What the fuck can I do? And I thought about it. It's like women take baths, right? They do. It's a very feminine thing. They have a bad week. I just want to decompress, and they just have a soak. And then they're just fine. Next thing you know, they're drinking wine, they're calling friends. I'm so glad you're in my life. And I feel I can get back out there again, right? So I'm literally alone. I start drawing a bath, and the water came all the way up. And at the end of the day, I couldn't fucking do it. There's just no way as a man to take a bath and not think about killing yourself, you know? There's just something about slipping into that coffin-shaped thing. It's like, am I gonna slit my wrists? Am I testifying against the mob? What the fuck am I doing here? I'm a man, I don't take a bath. You take a shower, hose it off, block out your feelings, keep walking till you drop of a heart attack. Literally, as you're going down, are you okay? I'm fine, I'm fine. Can't take a bath, sitting there playing with a rubber ducky, sticking my toe in the faucet, right? Not allowed. Not allowed to be that happy, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna go back to therapy, do that fucking bullshit again. Fast forward through all these stories I've told a million times. I gotta do it though. I'm gonna do it for my kid and do it for my wife, and selfishly do it for me. Because, now, I'm gonna tell you why. You're not gonna like the results, miss. This is why I'm gonna do it, because if I actually don't have a temper, like, I just think to myself, like, what could my wife complain to me? Like, what could my wife bitch at me about, right? I fucking crush everything. I do, I take out the trash. Okay, the gate was squeaky the other day, I to make sure that was done, you know? I pick up after myself, I like to think I'm a good dad. I work my ass off, I make a great fucking living. Crush all of that. All she has on me is who I am as a person. That's it. Yeah, if I could just not be who I was when she met me, I think I'd have a shot, you know? So we figured out the number one thing we fight about is television, you know? I watch sports, she watches those Real Housewives, you know, it just doesn't work out, you know? You guys have the Real Housewives out here? You do? Yeah. It's just, I imagine it's just the most depressing fucking thing ever. Isn't it? Those women, they just look so fucking exhausted. You know what I mean? They just put the war paint and the circle tits, just trying to fucking tuck it in and fucking, like an athlete at the end of their career, just trying to limp out on the field one more time. They're not as fast as they used to be. It reminds you of your own mortality. It's just like, ladies, just fucking sit down, put on something flowing. I'll put on a sport coat. We'll be in bed by 8:30, right? We're fucking old, you know? So we realized that, I don't know, we always fight about the television, so I'm like, well, what about documentaries? Why don't we just tape something we both like? We both love documentaries. They're fun, right? You watch them, you learn something, you repeat it at a party, people think you read.
What's it like to be a comedian in 2016?
It's the exact same way as it was in 2006 and in 1996. It's a completely exaggerated They make it seem like you walk into the club and there's people out there with signs and they're throwing
you're in the
stuff
Middle
at
East.
you.
Yeah.
They aren't. It's just completely media manufactured. Like, you could literally genetically alter the food. You can create a heroin epidemic. They're not going to bring that up. But if you do a Caitlyn Jenner joke every night for 2 years and one person complains, there's a chance that they'll blow it up. It's basically like lazy journalism. It's an easy story. And, you know, and then the people who get offended they're childish people. They're not adults. Because they'll sit there and they'll let 100 subjects goes by and it's all a joke, and then it gets to their neck of the woods, and then all of a sudden it's a statement, and you're up there like, you know, getting legislation enacted for some sort of law to make their life more miserable, whatever their point.
Conventions, Republican convention, Democratic convention?
No, I think if you watch those, you're an idiot. I don't understand why you would sit there wasting your time. They all say the same thing. They're all like, you know, over the last 4 years, everything good that happened was because of us. And we would have done more good stuff if it wasn't for those guys. And then the Democrats go, oh, we did all the good stuff. It's like you're all working for the same guy. They've been on both horses, and then it just kind of goes. You know, it's not for you, all right? You vote for that guy that says, like, there's a meteor headed right towards the planet. That's the guy you vote for. You go with the psycho, because there's no way there's any corporate money behind that guy, right? Like, that guy is going to come on TV. He's going to come on TV, like, reading files from the Pentagon. Like, you know what else they're doing? Like, just freaking people out.
Wow.
Yes, I did.
Did you pay attention to the election? We got a new mayor here. Bloomberg is out.
I didn't even know there was an election. I honestly don't. I don't pay attention at all. You know.
It's funny.
Bankers get bonuses of anyway. The upper echelon get from like 10 million up to 100 million, and the president of the United States makes like 400 grand a year. So right there, I watched enough wrestling to see a rigged game, and you know, there's like people with YouTube channels making as much as the leader of the free world. So I just think he's set up to be bribed, and you act accordingly. So basically anybody who comes at me going, these you know, the conservative right, or these liberals, like, I just zone out. I can't even talk to you if you're actually still looking at it like those are two choices that you're getting. You're not. It's the same. Once you get past a certain level, it just seems like it's you know,
all the same.
Yeah, you've jumped in the river, and you act accordingly, or you get that convertible ride in Dallas.
What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear. Right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know? I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys!
I do not belong to you. I believe you belong to my Father in heaven, and his name is Yahweh! 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 I call in prayer.
This guy, I absolutely fucking love this guy. This guy, he has passion. He's informed. He's a little fucking crazy. He is a true fucking patriot, without a doubt. The amount of people who would watch this guy and because he yells Yahweh would just say that he's a nut job is actually a travesty.
I'm a Jew. I belong.
There's no need to use a taser.
He is illegally tasering me. I am defending myself in favor of that.
An easy spot to be in, you know, and I stayed true to who I was, an uninformed jackass who can't fucking read out loud, who's into conspiracy theory. I talked about Hillary dressing up like a yak and fucking people under a mountain. I talked about Trump being a dope and that whole ridiculous shit about building a fucking wall. I trashed them both equally, but, you know, people who vote for colors, right? You got a blue tie, you can say nothing wrong. You got a red tie, you can't do anything wrong, right? I got so much fucking shit. It's so amazing how people hear things. My point in all of that was like, you know, it'd be kind of cool if we all just stopped yelling at each other. All right? All right, if you want to hear my fucking theories.
Actually, I got a couple of friends of African persuasion, and I got to get rid of them, man. I got to admit to you. I'm finding I'm spending too much money on clothes hanging out with them, because I got to, like, fucking try to keep up with their wardrobe. It's like every time they go out, they got all brand new shit on. All brand new shit. So when I show up with my white version of brand new, which is, you know, I ironed the shit, right? I ironed it, right? It's new. They just start trashing me. I can't keep up with them, man. They got like fucking 58 pairs of sneakers. Ever notice that shit? Like every color fucking Timberland? And I don't give a shit what fucked up color their shirt is. They got a pair of shoes to match it and a hat. It's like a rule or something. They're the worst. Even when you wear some new shit, there's like some sort of rule that you gotta like space out the amount of time within which like that you wear it. Because God forbid you wear the same shirt within a 10-day period, one of them's gonna notice. All of a sudden just look at you funny like, this motherfucker's got the same shit he had on last Tuesday. And then the whole car's like, oh shit! Then everybody just starts making fun of your fucking clothes. First they do the math, like, what was that, 5 days ago? 5 days? This motherfucker got 5 shirts! He got 5 shirts! And they start breaking it down. Yo, his first shirt be saying Monday, next shirt be saying Tuesday. Yo, on the weekend, he ain't been wearing no shirts. I'll tell you, that's actually funny. You know what? That's actually how I judge black guys now. When I first came to the city, like, all black people scared me. No, I was like the typical white dude from like the suburbs, you know what I mean? Had no frame of reference, you know? So my only frame of reference with black people was like, remember those early 90s gangster rap videos? Throw the fucking LA riots in there, man. It was fucking horrible PR. I'm watching the videos, look, he's got a nice car, he's got all the women, and he's still fucking mad. These black dudes are never happy. But after 10 years of living in the city, this is how I narrow it down. Whether a black dude scares me or not. Black dudes with dirty sneakers scare the fucking shit out of me. No. I figured out in my head, because I know from hanging out with them, that's the last shit that they're gonna let go. The immediate shit that they have on. So I think, you know, if his sneakers are fucked up, that means his life is fucked up. Every time he leaves his building, the whole neighborhood, oh, shit! Everyone starts making fun of him. He's on the train in a bad mood. I kind of have this howdy-doody, kind of mug-me kind of face. I'm not saying something's going to happen. I'm just saying. I'm paying attention. So I've been seeing this girl recently. This black girl, right? She lives up in Harlem, you know. Gone out like 3-4 times, you know. First time we hung out in like the Village area in New York, you know, which is sort of like a racially mixed area. So shit was cool, you know what I mean? Second time we hung out was more like Midtown, you know. Then the third time, she called me at like 3:30 in the morning, and she wanted me to come up to her apartment, right? So it's 3:30 in the morning, she lives in Harlem, I look how I look, so it's a fucking situation. Yeah, because you know the deal, right? Basically, a white dude feels comfortable up to about like 98th, 99th Street, you know what I'm saying? The second the streets start getting into like triple digits, like 100, 101st Street, start getting like a little asthma, like, oh, fuck, it's starting to get a little high up here. You feel that little tightness in your chest? Can you feel that? 106th Street, you're like leaning on shit like, dude, where'd all the cabs go? How come there's no taxis up here? Dude, what's a bodega? I don't know what that is. Let's get the fuck out of here. So I'm praying to God she's gonna tell me to take the subway, get off at like 105th Street, 103rd, you know, which is like the first stop in Harlem where I can still look over my shoulder and see like all the white people like disappearing over the horizon, you know? But she goes, no, man, you want to get on the Uptown 2-3 train, you want to get off at 125th Street. I'm like, God, fuck, 125th Street. Jesus Christ, that's like right in the middle of everything. I'm going to be surrounded on all four sides. I can't fucking do this. So, at this point, I'm really trying to hide like the bitchy tone that's starting to creep into my voice, you know? And I'm trying to ask for really specific directions for when I get up there, because I want to know exactly where I'm going. So she starts naming the streets I have to go down, and every other street up there is named after like a black leader, you know? She's like, make a left on Adam Clayton, take a right on Frederick Douglass. I'm like, God, fuck Adam Clayton. Yo, dude, go on the internet, look up Adam Clayton. Did he kill a bunch of white people during the slave revolt? Dude, I ain't going up there till I know what Adam Clayton did. Fuck this shit. So at this point, I'm really having a battle with myself. Because I'm thinking I can't do this, right? I'm like, I can't do this, but my dick's going, no, come on, man, we can do this, all right? Just relax. Pull yourself together and get on the goddamn train, right? So as always, I listen to my dick. Oh yeah, I get on the train. By the time I get up there, it's like 5 or 4 in the morning, right? I'm staying on like Malcolm X and like Danny Glover or some shit, right? I don't even know where the hell I'm at. But I see the street I want to go up. I want to go up St. Nick. I can literally see her apartment building, but there's like 5 or 6 black dudes standing right on the corner, right where I want to walk by. So I'm like, fuck! I felt like I was on like some reality show at that point, like some sort of like white guy survivor. It was ridiculous. So I'm thinking, I gotta walk right by these guys, right? You know what's funny? I think that they were actually more surprised to see me than I was scared, you know? And I was really, really scared, you know, but I'm also really, really white, you know? Like shockingly Caucasian. You know what I mean? Like if you're not ready for me, I can like surprise you. No, especially if you live up there. You've probably seen a white person for hours, possibly days. So when I show up, it's almost like magical. Like a leprechaun came out of nowhere, you know? Felt like I should have had like a little pot of gold, like a rainbow behind me. Top of the morning to you, latte. Kind of dance my way past them. But it's been going all right, you know? Once I get in her apartment, I'm fine, you know? I relax. Sit down, you know, watch a hip-hop countdown. Pretend like I know the groups, you know what I mean? It's just getting there that's a fucking pain in the ass. But, you know, I don't get mad at it, because I figure, you know, black dudes got to go through the same shit, though, right? When you go out to the suburbs, go fuck a white girl, right? Just that same awful feeling of just leaving your people behind, you know, just less and less of you as you're fucking driving out there. Probably start off lean and you're all fucking cool. 20 minutes in, you're driving like 10 and 2, the radio's off. Like, dude, I don't like this shit. I don't like this shit at all. There's too much grass. I don't see any rims. This is fucked up. None of the windows are tinted. I can clearly see white people in every car. This is fucked up. Listen, you guys were awesome. Thank you so much for coming out.
South, man, I had a real weird experience last time I came down here. I was in Nashville, right? Sort of an awkward social situation, right? I'm sitting at this bar. There's this white dude sitting like 2 stools away. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. And that Terrell Owens story was in like sports news. So I try to make conversation. I'm like, man, look at this guy. This guy just signed a $40 million contract. He's already bitching, man. How much money do you need to make? And the dude looks at me. He's like, you know what I say? And then he looked over his shoulder, which I now know is the telltale sign that the N-word is coming, and it's coming hard. Oh yeah, it's not going to be pronounced with the A, it's going to be with the R, and he hit the R, he like stuck the landing. There was like a dismount, Klan members high-fiving in the background, like doing the wave. Just out of nowhere, so now immediately I'm looking over my shoulder like, dude, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? I'm waiting for like this hail of black fists to come raining down on top of me. I hate when people do stuff like that. That dude made me part of like a potential ass kicking that I had nothing to do with. You don't do shit like that. He just had that word, hot potato, just threw it in my lap. Trying to pass it down to the next white dude. I hate when people do that, man. You know, it's like, dude, feel me out first. Ask some questions. Do you like to fish?
have you ever fucked your sister, right? I start rattling off answers, then you go old school. You give me a pamphlet, you tell me about your militia. Don't just dive into it. That dude was one of the angriest people I ever met. I should have known that word was coming, because he was just watching Terrell, right? Anytime I would bring up, look at man, that guy's talking trash, he would just like flip out. He won't shut up! You know those people get like so mad they're not even looking at you? Their eyes are up, you just shut up and play the game! You know what's funny? I don't even like Terrell, but now I love the guy. Because every time I see him talking trash, I know this idiot in Nashville is just losing his mind, like kicking over his kitchen TV. Shut the fuck up! I like violence, man. I am. Not like when it happens to me or if I see it live. I like watching it on TV, you know? Watching people, you know, get attacked by animals. Just get blasted in the face or something, you know? Like, I'm a huge sports fan. You know what my favorite, like, moment of, like, the last year was in sports? That Detroit Piston, Indiana Pacer bench clearing brawl. Wasn't that great? That was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. I was so confused when I watched ESPN that day. They were like, that was absolutely disgraceful. Basketball fans, they just must be... I'm sitting there looking like, I'm a basketball fan. I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed watching out-of-shape civilians get the shit kicked out of them by professional athletes. It was fascinating. And I think as sports fans, we kind of had it coming, right? Because how many times you gone to a game, right? You got a little too drunk, you started screaming at some dude on the field who could clearly kick the shit out of you, right? If you saw him in the parking lot, you'd be like, hey, can you sign my stamp collection? I think you're awesome. You get in the game, you're all drunk, you're like, you suck, buddy! You're a piece of shit! And they're always calling him up, come on up here! No, come on up here! Well, they came up there. They did, and they kicked the shit out of everybody. It was great. It was like a cartoon. You're like beating up whole rows of people at once, like... I loved every second. I love how Ron Artest punched the wrong guy. Wasn't that great? He taught that dude a valuable lesson in life. When shit goes down, you don't just stand there like you're watching a movie like, wow, it's coming right at me. Must be in 3D or something. That was a 5'6", 110-pound white dude, had an angry 6'10" black dude running right at him. That had to have been in his top 3 nightmares all time. Right behind getting his dick cut off and being lit on fire. And he just stood there. He's like trying to explain himself. Well, I still have the liquid in my cup, so there's no way I could have... He's an idiot.
I've been battling with my girlfriend a lot lately. She loves to watch the Oprah Winfrey Show, and I love to watch her watch the Oprah Show. And then I wait for Oprah to say something that I don't agree with, and then I take it out on my girlfriend, because I'm a jerk. So, Oprah brings out her first guest, right? She gives her this huge intro. She's written a book, she's been in a movie, and she does the most difficult job on the planet. She's a mother. So immediately I look at my girlfriend, I'm like, really? Being a mother is the most difficult job on the planet? How many moms died on ice road truckers last season? You know, any moms get washed overboard on Deadliest Catch? Now, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but which job would you rather have? You want to scoop crabs up off the bottom of the ocean, hanging off some rusty tugboat, catching that trap to the back of your head every couple of weeks? Or you want to hang out in the sunshine with a couple of rugrats? You know, you can send them to bed anytime you want on some trumped up charges. Yeah. Trumped up charges, yeah, because you want to have a drink and watch The Price is Right. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. No, maybe it is. Maybe it is the most difficult job. I mean, I thought roofing in the middle of July as a redhead. You know? I thought that was a difficult job. But evidently, these mothers, they're bending over at the waist, putting DVDs into DVD players. I don't know how they do it. How do they do it? Oh, the way they push that stroller with the round wheels. Yeah, and the baby in there. It's the most difficult job on the planet. Going to war pinned down by a sniper. What a joke. It's a joke. You ever burp a baby and forget to put that towel up there? Oh, there's another shirt you gotta wash, right? Oh yeah, lift with your knees and put it in that machine that does it for you. People, any job you can do in your pajamas is not difficult. Sure, it's draining, but come on, man. Being a stay-at-home mom, that's like my dream job. No boss, no time card, no taxes. You're off the grid. Hanging out all day, making grilled cheese sandwiches. Giving a puppet show, you dress like a dragon. Then some other adult comes home and gives you money. Yeah.
Actually, Nerd Jesus died in the last year, right? Steve Jobs. Yeah, he died, right? I know. A lot of nerds here tonight. I know, you're sad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the big deal they made about that guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That's insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear. Right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know. I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys. See you in 8 years. Where you going, Michael? Big, little, get on it. Right? And all these people slave away to make his vision come true. And then they have the big nerd fest, right? Down there, Comic-Con, and all their nerd mecca. They're all showing up with their Acne and their Hulk shirts, limping into the arena, right? Does Steve Jobs go out with a whole chorus line of scientists? No, he goes out there by himself. Sneakers and no belt, like it was no biggie, right? like he's Tesla. Tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute.
I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi. You think you're being healthy. You're eating your old rollerblades.
I'm becoming a psycho. I've realized that about myself. I am. I watch conspiracy theory and like slap fights till like 2 a.m. on YouTube, you know? Yeah, I start like piecing shit together. I'm becoming that guy. I'm like that guy, you know, when you sit there, you're sitting there drinking in a bar and all, you know, some guy's cool, you're talking about the game, then all of a sudden he's just like, you know, there's no gold behind our currency. You realize that? You're like, oh yeah, that's great. Pick up your drink, just fucking walk away. Oh, that's what I'm becoming. Totally into conspiracy. That's why I think Barack Obama is going to win the election. I think they're going to let him win. Because they're in the process of bankrupting this country, and I think that they need a black guy to blame it on. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Dude, it'll totally feed into the rednecks. They'll be like, you see what happened? Dude, he's only half black. Well, that's the half that did it. That's what happened. I bet the white half was saying. That's what, you know, see, I'm just fucking losing people. I am. I just look at TV and nothing makes sense to me. I'm sick of them telling me shit is shocking that is completely obvious. Crocodile hunter dies. Oh, can you fucking... Yes, I can totally believe it. It's why I watched the show. I watched it every week because I knew eventually he was going to fucking die. And I wanted to see it. Right? Oh, I like that dog, the bounty hunter video, or the phone message he left. You know, people are like, can you believe he left that racist message? It's like, dude, look at him. Look at him. Some redneck with a mullet down to his ass. He drives a pickup. He's got the gloves with the fingers cut off. Yeah, who would have thought he had a couple of fucked up ideas rolling around in his head, you know? Dude, you know what would have been shocking? If he could play the cello. That would have been shocking, right? Yeah, then you'd be sitting there like, God damn, look at Doc. Here it is. I thought he was some racist on his way to a steak and shake, and he's busting out a little Beethoven. God damn, I owe this guy an apology, you know? God, I'd love to see his iPod. I can't imagine the eclectic mix of music. There's so much time I spend alone on the road, man. I actually spent so much time alone on the road, I actually like contemplated milk to the point I can't even fucking drink it anymore. Sitting there drinking, like, man, this stuff is great, tastes awesome, you know? Then I started thinking, it comes out of the carton, and I just did the police work, it comes out of a cow, and I'm like, I am fucking suckling from another species. We have such a crazy relationship with cows. You ever think about that? No, you can nurse from it, you can eat it, right? You can tip it over when it's sleeping, but if you fuck it, you're going to jail. All right, I'm thinking about getting a dog, everybody. I am. No, I'm at the point. Nothing alive is dependent on me. I gotta get out of this tailspin, man. So I'm thinking about getting a dog. My girlfriend wants me to like adopt a dog. She's like, you want to adopt a dog? We should rescue one. You want to do that? I'm like, no, I don't. She's like, why not? I go, because I think a lot of those dogs, they're a little fucked in the head. Yeah, how do you think they ended up down there? It's like, dude, that's not a pet store. That's like doggy death row, all right? Why don't we just go to a prison and like adopt an inmate on the off chance that maybe they didn't commit the crime, you know, just roll the dice? Dude, fuck that. I want a brand new 2008 Bulldog, all right? I don't want some like 1995, half a Labrador, it's got part of its ear chewed off, you know?
Every time I go to use the toaster, it starts freaking out. You know, because his last owner hung him from the ceiling fan every time the Jets didn't cover the over, you know? Dude, that is an animal. That thing could kill you. If a squirrel wanted to fuck me up, if it just started running at me, by the time I processed, like, is that a rat? Is that mechanical? By the time I figured it out, it would have ran up my leg and just taken chunks out of my ear. Then I got to tell that story for the rest of my life, sitting in a bar. Dude, what happened to you? A fucking squirrel, right? Never get laid again. That's what I'm saying, right? I get one of those crazy dogs, get up at like 3 in the morning to take a leak. Right, I'm shuffling to the bathroom, and that's the exact moment his previous owner used to come home shit-faced and beat the crap out of the dog, right? I got no clue. I'm just, sitting there shuffling to the bathroom. Meanwhile, the dog's getting all amped up, like, fuck this shit, man. I promised myself I wouldn't let this happen again, all right? It's time to man up, man up. Ah! It's flying at me. Takes a big chunk out of my neck. Then what? I'm laying on the ground bleeding. What are they going to do with the dog? They're going to take him right back down to the prison like some repeat offender, have like shackles on him and stuff. He's just sitting there hopping back in. We knew you'd be back. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Get me a milk bone, Wheel him in like Hannibal Lecter with like that lampshade around his neck. I got to work on my temper, though. Something I really got to do. I let like the thoughts just spin away, I was on a plane the other day. I actually had the urge to elbow an old lady in the face. It was like compelling. It was unbelievable. When you go to get off a plane, there's like rules when you go to get off the plane, all right? It goes row by row by row. And this lady was all like, ooh, I'm 90. I get to cut everybody, right? So I'm competitive. I start fucking boxing her out, right? Start bringing down like the overhead luggage, So she just starts like waddling around me. And all of a sudden I just feel my elbow like, dude, you're going to take this shit? This is ridiculous, man. The whole half of the plane is watching it. Come on, man. Dude, we got a wide open shot. Just real light. Poof. You got to hit it that hard. And then you can play it off. I'm literally talking to my elbow like, dude, come on, man. We can't do this shit, all right? This chick's like 95 years old. We can't do it. I thought I had my body under control, and she got like to right about there, and then I felt my foot like, dude, we could still trip her. Still trip her. Just throwing that out.
I'm sick of Obama's wife. Yeah. This isn't some Republican rant either. It's just kind of first ladies in general. I don't know what it is. All throughout my life, with each presidency, like these first ladies, they've just gotten more and more like chatty. More and more chiming in, like leaning into the frame, spitting out their ideas. It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? Oh, okay, you just nodded there, lady. Let me ask you this, all right? Let's say you had a leak in your house, okay? You call a plumber up. He shows up, and he goes, yeah, I think the leak's coming from the upstairs bathroom. We need to shut it up, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden his wife walks in, who isn't a plumber. And he goes, hey, I'm actually thinking it's kind of pretty. Wouldn't you be like, with all due respect, shut the up. I need a plumber in this moment. I'll extend an olive branch here. All right, at some point, there's going to be the first female president, right? Exactly. Which means at that moment, you're going to have the first male first lady, right? And when that happens, that dude needs to shut his trap. I don't want to hear a word out of him. I want to hear from the president. You, sir, go do some first lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile and nod during speeches. Go put your own flair redecorating the White House, right? Which leads you to Michelle Obama, right? Now she's sitting there holding up those hashtags. Remember that hashtag, bring back our girls? Remember that? It's like, it blew my mind. It's like, why are you showing me that? I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, what am I going to do to get those girls back? Why don't you look across the dinner table? It's like, you see that guy? That is the leader of the free world. Tell him to pick up a phone Call some Navy SEALs and solve it. What am I going to do? Show up with a sharpened mic stand? Hey, Michelle said to bring him back. No, it's unreal. I'll tell you what kills me. Hillary Clinton might run. She might run. That blows my mind. I mean, honestly, she became a senator. She went from being the president's wife to being a senator. Just like that. Lateral move. That's like Tom Brady's wife becoming the next quarterback of the Rams. It's like, what, you hanging out? You just pick it up? I sucked at sports, and then I banged Tom Brady, and I don't know what happened. I just picked up a ball. I started lacing it. I'm leading receivers. It was incredible. I knew it was going to be like this. You know what's funny? There's actually people out there that think a woman being president is actually a good idea. You know? Can you believe that? See that they do? That'll do something. That'll change things. How? How the is that going to change anything? Do you know what the president makes a year? The president makes $400,000 a year. That's it. He's trying to keep billionaires in line, making $400,000 a year. That's all he makes. He makes less than some people blogging on the internet. The president should have you money, right? He shouldn't be sitting there with his pockets turned inside. I need your help to get me the job, right? What do you guys all donate to the campaign? Is that what it is?
I'm at that age where everybody I know is getting married. Let me ask you a question. Why the hell do people keep getting married? You know what I mean? Isn't anybody looking at the stats? You know what I mean? 3 out of 4 marriages go right down the shitter, right? If you were going skydiving and they told you 3 out of 4 parachutes weren't going to open, you'd be like, yo, fuck that, I'm not going. Like, I don't like those odds. I have a 75% chance of splatting on the ground. But there's something about getting married. People just have to do it, right? They're just like, is this the line to lose half my shit? Awesome. This is gonna be great. No, I'm just kidding. I love women. I'm just not compatible with them. No, they got too much energy for me. You notice I said they always have to be doing something. You know, like they can't like take a day off, you know? You can't have a day off when you have a girlfriend. They just like see that open day. They're like, oh my God, let's fucking fill it up with shit. They just come at you with like one horrible idea after another. They have the worst ideas. They do. You ever get to this one, they'll be like, you want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! But you can't say that. You got to keep her happy, right? So what do? You agree? Yeah, let's go to brunch. What a great idea. Why would you want to sleep in on a Sunday when you can go pay $52 for eggs? Now you're thinking. Then we can sit around and listen to your friends have moronic conversations about the eggs, you know, like, is that pesto? Is that pesto in your omelet? Oh, it's asparagus. It's asparagus. I thought it was pesto. I was dating this girl recently. She was like really into like women's issues, you know? Because women always go on TV, you know, they say all they want is to be treated exactly like guys. But if you listen to them, they don't. All they want is the good shit of being a guy. They're cherry picking. They look at a guy's life like it's like a buffet, right? Like you just can start picking out stuff, like same amount an hour, we'll take some of that. Pay for the movie, fuck that. You can keep that one, I don't like that one. This is nice, that's yucky, that's icky. Hey, come on, people, you can't choose. This girl gives me shit. She goes, well, why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job? I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely event that we're both on a Titanic and it starts to sink, for some fucked up reason, you get to leave with the kids and I have to stay. That's why I get the $1 more an hour. No, it's $1 an hour surcharge. You hear a bump in the night, I gotta go check it out. Like, yes, he does have a knife. Anytime there's a hostage situation, who do they negotiate for? Well, at least let the women and children go. Well, what about me? You think I want to stay in the vault? Those 20 other sweaty guys? sharing a bag of peanuts, you know? Praying to God I'm not the hostage who gets dragged out by the psycho with a gun to my head as he's asking the cops for a helicopter. Which I know he's not gonna get, right? I know he's not getting the helicopter. So now I gotta make idle conversation with the 38 to my head going, dude, go for a rent-a-car. I think you should go for the rent-a-car. See what I'm saying? Where are all those feminists then? You can't find them. They had no feminists in a house fire. You can take the most hardcore feminist, you know, some chick right in your face, you chauvinistic son of a bitch, you know, little short, little haircut, you know. Second those flames break out, she'll twist those little hairs into pigtails. Ooh, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope. No, that's why I hated that movie, the Titanic. Every girl I meet thinks that movie's romantic. It's irritating. I think, that was really romantic, don't you think? It's like, no! It's a fucking horror film. And they're always like, why? I'm like, because all the guys die. See, you're watching it trying to relate, going, who would I be? You'd be that chick floating away in the big piece of luggage, right? I'm watching it going, who would I be? I'd be that dude when, like, the boat breaks in half, that dude who, like, falls straight down and bangs off the shit and goes in the water. That's who I'd be. I'd be wearing a tuxedo, not because I wanted to, but you wanted to dress up that night, right? I'd be falling the whole way down going, I should have fucked that chick in first class. All right, listen, I'm out of time. You guys are a lot of fun. Thank you very much. Good night. Thank you.
He's actually not only one of the funniest comics working today, his name is really fun to say. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Burr!
Thank you. How are you? How's it going? Still got some life in you? Awesome. I can't wait for these elections to be over. You know? It's like enough already. Just fucking pick somebody. How many more goddamn debates are gonna be, right? 1,000 points of light, health insurance trickling down, everybody gets applesauce. Doesn't matter. I want to find an honest guy. You know what I mean? Some guy who's just going to get on TV and be like, look, in order for this whole thing to work, at least 2/3 of you need to just go to the beach and walk into the ocean. There's only so much chicken and fresh water left. If you're not in that upper third, just be honest with yourselves. You know, they should have auditions. Whatever you do, you got to audition to still be here, right? You're a plumber, fix that sink better than 70% of the other fuckers. That's it. Put some wrenches in your pocket, go to the beach, and out you go. Yeah, straight across the board. Dentists, comedians, I'd do it. I'd stand in a line with a bunch of clowns, right? Tumblers and shit. I wouldn't make it. I wouldn't. No, I take comfort in knowing that. There's no way I'm making it. I'm useless. I am. I'm 44. I'm not married. I don't have any kids. Why am I still here? Just another person taking up space, walking into a Starbucks. Oh, Sheryl Crow CD. Right? Why am I here? I have a horrible science background. Do you know cruise ships blow my mind? Blow my mind. I don't get how something that big and metal can float. I don't get it. Makes no sense. And there's always some nerd there to try to explain it. Well, the area times the mass. Oh, fuck you with your magic. I don't get it. It's got a smokestack. It's got an anchor. Right? Dude, explain the pool. How can you have a pool on a boat? You dug a hole in the boat, filled it with water, you got fat people going in it. That's game, set, and match. Speaking of nerds, when is the nerd epidemic just gonna end? Like, when is the nerd bubble just gonna burst? They're fucking everywhere. Every show, they got some guy with black frame glasses. Oh, I'm kind of awkward. I don't know how to talk to the opposite sex. Like, this is supposed to, like, inspire me? You know, when I was a kid, nerds had shame. They had shame. They had horrible days at school. They were stuffed in lockers, left there overnight reading whatever they could find. Then in the mornings, janitor let them out, and then they got the shit kicked out of them for wearing the same stuff 2 days in a row. Now they're walking around all proud, double pocket protectors, black socks yanked up. This is what happens when you get rid of bullying. It is. When you get rid of a species' natural predator, it just grows exponentially. Actually, Nerd Jesus died in the last year, right? Steve Jobs. Yeah, he died, right? I know, a lot of nerds here tonight. I know, you're sad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the big deal they made about that guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That was insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear, right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know? I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys. See you in 8 years. Where you going, Michael? Big, little, get on it! Right? And all these people slave away to make his vision come true. And then they have the big nerd fest, right? Down there at Comic-Con and all their nerd mecca. They're all showing up with their Acne and their Hulk shirts, limping into the arena, right? Does Steve Jobs go out with a whole chorus line of scientists? No, he goes out there by himself. Sneakers and no belt, like it was no biggie, right? like he's Tesla, tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi. You think you're being healthy. You're eating your old rollerblades. All right, I'm out of time. You guys are great. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.